What is going on, YouTube? We are back. It is past the prop time, coming at you guys. An all MLB show today. Joined as always by my guy Stu. Stu, what is going on, my man?
Nothing much, man. Obviously, like you said, we've got a little bit of an earlier start today in the world of MLB, but still full slate of MLB action. We got some NBA playoffs tonight. I kind of like these Wednesday slates even more because it's more of an appetizer, right? I get my baseball all day. We get to bet some money down, and then we get playoff baseball or playoff basketball to close out the night. So good time of year to be a sports bettor right now. I think we got some good picks today, and hopefully we start a new winning streak right now.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I looked at it. I think we ended up losing we got juiced out by point 0.4. So not too bad. I think we're ready to roll. I think we're good to go. Obviously, if we would have got reverse swept, that would have been something. But luckily, that wasn't the case. Yeah, it was good. It was a good, fun little run. We got to continue that streak for a while. But we're back. Looking at this slate today, I don't have to talk about any NBA, so I guess we can just go right into looking at this slate overall. What is the stick out to you? What is looking at you and like, oh, I gotta bet on something in this game?
Well, there's a lot of good games today. I want to shout out, the slate is great, and it's kind of like how it is with the NBA now, where we get the Rockies and the Pirates today, baby. An absolute, sludge fest of two of the least impressive teams in the league squaring off. So that gives us our kind of Rockets versus Kings representation from the NBA. I will have to say, though, Noah Syndergaard is on the mound today. He allows a lot of stolen bases, so I will be betting on that game. So shout out Noah Syndergaard for that one as well.
Yeah, no, and everybody, it's funny, everybody's in the chat talking about Cal Quantrill, dude. I love Cal Quantrill. He's on the road, though, and he's facing the worst team in baseball in the Detroit Tigers. So I will not be betting them. I can't bet Cal Quantrill because I hate the Tigers more than I hate any other team. And even today, I got to get my other jab in here on the Tigers, right? You look at the A's, see who they're starting today, right? You look at who they're starting. They're starting one of their top prospects. This is Mason Miller on the bump. 100+ mile-an-hour fastball as a starter. They said this is as big of a premiere for a starter as Jesus Luzardo was in 2019. Ooh. That is how big this dude's going to be. This guy is legitimately 100 miles an hour on every fastball he throws. Decent cutter, good slider. Not much of a changeup, so that might be interesting. I'm curious how he does today against the Cubs, but let's see if DraftKings wakes up and puts him on the DK slate, because I'm sure he's going to find his way into some lineups if I get into my lineup if he comes through today, because I kind of want to bet that just because he's going to be low priced and the dude's got upside galore.
Yeah, I like that. I'll have to add that to the agenda of good games to watch out. Nothing like a top prospect making their first start. I guess the only problem there is normally those guys have a pretty short leash. You're trying to protect your guy to a certain extent, get him a good first outing. You don't take the risk of sending him back out for the 5th or the 6th if you don't need to. But definitely will be electrifying TV, which you can't say that much for the A's. So hopefully we see some 104 mile an hour fastballs from the starter today.
64 pitches. 5 innings, 11 Ks in his last start.
Oh,
that was his trip. That was his last start.
Okay.
So, he ended up getting through that, and he doesn't walk guys. That's the big thing. Obviously, there's going to be nerves, everything like that, but take a look at Miller, right? I think that's definitely somebody to look out for. I might end up picking him up in a couple of my fantasy leagues here today. I probably will be picking him up. I'm actually going to pick him up right now. So nobody grabs him, because I'm sure once everybody watches him, they'll be like, holy shit, I gotta get this guy on my team.
Well, no, that's why I appreciate talking to you. You know a lot of the prospects that I've absolutely never heard of before they make their start, and that's obviously a good advantage to have in the betting market. So if you see any strikeout numbers you like or anything like that, don't be shy. Send them our way as well.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I know you talked about just kind of an overlying good amount of games. I'm not going to talk about my Brewers. They're playing well right now. We'll talk about them in a little bit here. But, I mean, you get to see Scherzer on the bump in that game you mentioned.
Yep.
I am very curious. What was the game I just had it right in the middle of my eyes here. I do kind of want to watch this Cardinals game, and I really want to watch this Texas Rangers game. The Texas Rangers game. I'll be talking about it. You saw the thumbnail. You saw who it was. It was Martin Perez. He's back. And I'll be talking about him shortly here. And you guys know I love betting on that guy. I almost faded him today, but we'll talk about that bet here in a second. Let's take a look at the chat, and then we'll get going. Terrence, morning. Hey, first guy in here. First guy popping right on that. Ken, I hope we can get you out of that rut today. I'm feeling pretty good about this slate. Yeah, there's a lot of good games on today, and a lot of not that much juice out there, right? A lot of these games are, I think the biggest one was like minus 195. That was the Cardinals facing Bumgarner. So there's that. Jay Wells in the chat. We'd love to see it. It is Cal Quantrill Day. Unfortunately, like I said, I can't ever back the Tigers ever again. Until Maglio comes out of retirement as a 58-year-old guy hitting the ball there. Yeah, sorry, guys. Sorry. I'm assuming that's Marte. Marte plus 120. Jesus Christ.
Insane. It's the most insane price I've seen all year, but that's Syndergaard for you.
Rasmussen 6K's race to win double performance. I'm kind of scared off from his last performance against the Blue Jays. Obviously, I know he's getting a much better spot here, but still, dude, this Park just plays up so much power. He's not really a ground ball pitcher. I don't like fading the Reds at home, and I don't like the Reds. Maybe I'm just a little bit biased because they won me so much money last week. But when we're playing in that small park, man, I don't like taking like the performance of. I would rather do the win. Right, assuming that they can hit off of the pitcher for the Reds, who I've never heard of, which is pretty impressive. If I've never heard of you, that's pretty impressive. I follow a lot of the minor league stuff. I follow a lot of that, and still never heard of him. So
Levi Stout.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. So yeah, the Reds are just sneaky, man. Like they're bringing you don't even know who half these dudes are. Like Bossler is actually very, very good. He was highly regarded coming up. Yeah, I don't know how they're going to do that. Will Myers, obviously, he's hitting the ball very well. You got Jonathan Indy at the top, Tyler Stevenson, an elite catching, hitting catcher.
Yep.
So I don't want to talk myself into backing the Reds, but I think that Rasmussen's early success is getting built into this line because Rasmussen's really not a strikeout guy, to be honest. He's not. He's more to contact. I mean, his stuff is nice, but still, this Reds team is feisty, man. They're gonna be tough. I'm not gonna back Rasmussen today.
Also, just one more thing. It's like an internal rule. Betting on the first game of the day.
Don't do it, dude. Don't do it.
It's brutal. And there's always a chalk play. You know, there's always one really popular play everyone has loaded up. This feels like that play for today. I'd rather just, chill out a little bit and wait a little bit more. Maybe watch some Giants Marlins, something like that. Give it an extra 45 minutes.
Yeah, no, we seen it last year. Mostly the Braves games, right? When Austin Riley just walks 4 times in 3 games that start early. Everybody just gets destroyed. So yeah, I'm perfectly okay with not touching that game at all. All right, Stu. Did you pick a game that you liked? Did you pick one?
Yeah, I said the Rockies Pirates was my game, baby.
Oof. Christ. That's ugly. I can't watch a game that Austin Gomber pitches ever, so.
We'll get to him soon. We'll get to him. Don't worry.
Yeah, dude, it was funny because it killed everybody. Nobody got out of that game making money because it went under on the total. All of the strikeout totals were not getting hit because they were all ground ball outs or walks. So it's just, it was not those early games were not good. All right, Stu, I brought up Austin Gomber. I'm assuming that means you're going to want to talk about this one here.
Sounds good. We're playing in the mud a little bit right here. Going to the dirtiest game on the slate right here. Connor Joe and Charlie Blackmon to both get a hit. We'll start with Gomber because I've loved fading Gomber since last season. Urena got a lot of hate on our last show, for being like, why is this guy still a major league pitcher? I understand why Gomber is. You obviously have that trade capital. That's a name that they were hoping to get a little bit better out of. But if you haven't checked how he's doing so far this season, it's not too good with that 0-3, 8 ERA. More hits than, innings pitched so far is obviously not a very good stat. When we want to look at who I'm matching him up against, we're going Connor Joe, another one of those extremely consistent contact guys, batting 310 on the season, 308 versus lefties. This is also technically a revenge game if you're interested in that kind of thing, considering he was formerly on this team last year, definitely has some familiarity. This one's just a pretty easy fade of Gomber, right? We got a batter that's a simple contact hitter. Joe's another one of those guys that I like targeting. He's not going to hit too many bombs for you. He's going to get you a lot of singles and doubles, slapping the ball around. Great matchup against Gomber, who I'm not sure is going to make it past 5 innings. Then we got Charlie Blackmon on the other side, who's been very consistent so far. We're going up against a Pirates pitcher. I'm not too familiar with this guy at all. He's definitely pretty young, but when I was looking at the stats, he definitely is worse against lefties than righties so far. 205 opposing batting average versus righties versus 263 versus left-handed hitters. Then when we look at the pitch splits, this is what I really like. Blackmon is actually a very above average hitter, hitting 250, 410 and 350 against his top 3 pitches right here. It's going to be the curveball and the slider that he's pretty good at taking care of business of right here. And then obviously a very solid fastball hitter, 310 to start out the season against the fastball. So good pitching matchup right here. Better against or worse against lefties. Blackmon's been consistent over 300 on the season. Love the game total. A lot of offense in this one. I know people normally like the home runs. I'm going with 2 guys that I think are going to slap a single around for me at -115.
Stu, I don't know, dude. I don't know. You're fading one of the guys I really like. I don't know how I love Connor Joe, but that Oviedo dude is a fucking monster, bro.
Yeah.
This dude is upper 90s, has a hammer. Dude, that guy, oh man, his first game outing, I was fading him. He did very bad. First time starting. Last 2 games, dude's been completely lights out. Obviously, I get the Coors angle too. I'm curious how he does today because you've seen him out, which is something that no one does, right? You don't just see guys wipe them out. 10 Ks on the Cardinals, that's fucking crazy. You don't see that ever. So I'm really curious how he does today because he right now is that spot where I'm like, do I go to this game and just full on fucking fade Gomber and just hammer the Pirates? But that -125, why is it there, dude? Why? That's what I'm saying. Like, this game gives me weird vibes because I think the Pirates should be fucking huge favorites here. And I'm curious because I think he might go back to that old ways of walking guys, which he did in the minors, which obviously Blackmon is pretty good at drawing walks. So that's my only spot. That's where I'm kind of held up here. But I really like Connor Joe today. I'm scared, bro. It's just so many unknowns for me on this guy, but I've obviously been following him for a long time. I know I wanted the Brewers to fucking trade for him like 3 times because the dude's elite, but everybody hits better in Colorado. So
yeah,
we'll see. I mean, this is going to be the most bet game of the day. So hopefully all these hits keep coming through. I will be full fading this game for DFS because I'm pretty sure we have like 95% ownership. So I can't, that's against my, my policy there. So I'm excited. I hope you get this one. And hopefully it's a Blackmon nice little slap single, and then everybody else goes over, and all the pitchers just dominate after Connor Joe and Blackmon gets singles so I can win some DFS because I'm sure they're going to be like 95%. Okay. Oh, which one do I want to do first? Oh, since I was kind of on the fence there on that one, I'm going to go to one here that I am fading my own team, right? I am fading my own team here. Guess what? The Brewers have been fucking awesome, guys. They have been phenomenal. They have made us so much money. They've let me enjoy baseball watching them because usually they're really boring and can only pitch. They can hit. They can hit right now. And I understand it. Why are you fading them then? Why are you going under? Brewers fucking suck against lefties. I say this every time, and I don't know how this is not more public knowledge. Nobody is fading the Brewers against these lefties. I don't get it, right? I don't understand it because they're terrible, dude. They are absolutely terrible against lefties. Yelich just splits awful. You'd think Willie Adames was better against lefties. He's actually not. He's better against righties, right? Tellez against the lefty. Good luck. Dude can't hit any lefties at all. So only guy I am kind of on the fence with here is Contreras. I think he'll do well. But we might not even see him play today. We might see Caratini in the lineup after a night game to an early game here. This lineup could be pretty bad. I mean, you're also going to see all of those young studs that that everybody wants to watch, right? Terang, Mitchell, right? All those guys, they're not going to play. They don't start them against lefties, right? You don't even see them against lefties. So that's two of the quicker guys, the more athletic players that we have. Those two bats are out of the lineup because they've been doing that almost every single time or batting Garrett Mitchell in the 8th. Marco Gonzalez is going up against a team today in my Brewers that has a 630 OPS against lefties, 215 batting average against lefties, a 336 slugging against lefties this year. That is all awful, right? And this is almost better than last year because the Brewers had a 674 OPS against lefties and a 222 batting average for the whole season against lefties. These dudes cannot hit left-handed pitching. I understand Marco Gonzalez is not the best guy, but he does limit power, and that's something that the Brewers have. That's how the Brewers have been scoring these runs, have been home runs. Yelich home run yesterday. Adames is swinging for the fence every time. They're very much a home run or bust type of team, and if you're giving me a guy who limits power, he's at home, comfortable, coming off of these guys pitching 2 days. He had rest, right? He had his paternity leave for about a week. I think he comes in here and mows. And I could also see him only going like 5 innings and giving up like 1 run, right? I mean, we might not even see him stretch out, right? So there's so many different angles you can play here. But biggest one, Brewers can't hit lefties. It's just a proven fact. It's been 2 years of full data talking about how the Brewers can't do it. They haven't changed much. So I'm going Marco Gonzalez. This is my own team. I watch these guys every single day. They cannot do it, even relievers. And I'm going to take Marco Gonzalez to absolutely shove these dudes.
I love this spot right here. Marco Gonzalez I feel like he's kind of underrated in general. I think he's just a very solid pitcher that gets you, a good 5-6 innings every time he goes out there. And like you kind of said a second ago, if there's one person that's going to come on here and fade the Brewers, we don't see this too often, right? We don't see the full-on Brewers fade on the show. So I'm definitely going to run to my fucking sports book and bet this because I know if you're going at the Brewers, it's serious. It takes a little bit of dedication to get to that. So love this spot right here. I love betting on Marco anyway. I think it's always a good spot. So I'll definitely be telling you right here.
Oh, yeah. This is tough, Turbo, because I like him, but he has been out of commission for a week, right? He was with his kid. So
True.
I don't know if it's going to be a 5-6 inning day. I think he is going to be rolling at this point. But I would much rather do that. I'd play it, but I'm only going to play it for 1 unit on the show. But personally, I'll probably lay a little bit of. If I posted in my chat, I'll probably be like 1.5, 2. All right, I like this one too. Here, let's get it going.
Yeah, this feels like last year. This one gave me like mid last season vibes. I'm sure I've actually played this combination on the show. We're going Paul Goldschmidt, Xander Bogaerts, both to record a hit. -115. This one's over on FanDuel. Start out with Goldschmidt. He'll be a little bit more popular today, but that's for good reason. I know I kind of let the Goldie chalk stop me a little last year, but this guy, when you get him in the right situation, it is awesome. He is 1 at home, 2 facing a left-handed pitcher, and 3 facing a day game or playing in a day game. He is significantly better in all 3 of those statistical categories versus night games, versus right-handed pitchers, and all that stuff, and on the road, obviously. So it's the ideal Goldie situation. And then we get him against Madison Bumgarner, who he obviously has some amazing career history against. I mean, he's faced prime Madison Bumgarner, we got to remember, but still 26 for 76. Batting or expected batting average of 385 during that time. Like I said, a lot of that is against prime Madison Bumgarner, coming in with a hit in 10 of his last 12 games against Bumgarner. It's just a great spot right here. Goldie, absolute monster. I think he's going to be extremely consistent here. Like I said, we just get the perfect spot. We get the home game, we get versus the lefty, and then the cherry on top is the little 400 during day games. As for Xander Bogaerts, Xander's off to a great start to the season in terms of batting average, 347 on the season. He's actually doing a lot worse against left-handed pitching, only around 200 right now, but that's obviously great for us against a right-handed pitcher right here where he's batting over 400. Coming in with some good history as well against Morton. I believe he's 4 for 8 in his career. And we want to look at the stat breakdown. We know Morton's known for that curveball. We know he's got the curveball sinker combo going against right-handed batters right here. Xander is hitting over 300 against all of his top 3 pitches, both this year and last year. So he's got a little bit of consistency going right here. Xander's been great. I believe he has a hit in all but like 3 games so far this season. Just been one of those guys that's you kind of plug and play in the hit parlay. Today we get him in a great matchup, paired up with another great player. I couldn't believe this is minus 115. Definitely think this one's going to close, minus 130, minus 135 as the day gets a little bit later.
Beautiful. Good breakdown. Definitely. I will be having Goldie in a lot of DFS lineups today, and I'm assuming he's not going to be that chalky, right? Because we got Coors on the slate, so everybody wants to go there and play those. So that'll be a spot I will be likely attacking. This one I know, guys. It's going to be scary. I'm going to bet the under here. I'm going the Royals first 5 under 4.5. I had the bet of the Royals first 5 money line locked in to the show at about. I know I didn't tell you what I was betting here, but Stu saw me deleting something. I'm like, shit, I have to switch something. Like something's off because I found more information, and I'm like, damn it, dude. I really like that Royals play because I really like Brady Singer today. I know everybody's on him, just dude, this guy sucks, blah blah blah. Guys, it's 3 starts, bro. It's 3 starts. Last year alone, he was over a 9 ERA in the first month of the season too. Guess what the next month was? A 1.7, a 1.7 ERA. So I do expect a little bit of positive regression. Obviously, I know he's been absolutely dreadful so far this season, but I don't look at 3 innings as such a huge thing as everybody else does, right? I think we're going to start seeing a little bit more regression, right? He's got sinker, slider, changeup, 4-seam mix here, mostly sinker guy. But what I do really like is just the raw stuff, right? I like that he's throwing at home. It's going to be not very fun to throw here. As a batter, you don't want to hit here, right? Kauffman Stadium plays up in terms of above average depth, right? And you also look at Singer at home last year. Dude had a 2.7 ERA at home. He's only had 1 start there so far this year. Tough result, right? We weren't happy with the result, right? 10 innings, 8.1 ERA. Obviously, not something you want to look at there. But I mean, who are we facing? We're facing the freaking Blue Jays and the Braves. Jesus Christ, this is a huge step down. Absolutely huge step down. You're going to probably have some of these guys not in the lineup. Like I said, this is the days you kind of get the second tier guys. But also, Corey Seager not being in the lineup is so big. It makes this lineup way, way flatter, right? Once you get past Adolis Garcia and Jace Jung, you're sitting pretty, right? You're facing. I don't want to talk shit on Jonah Heim, but he's not great. I played him that one day and he hit me a game-winning walk-off. I'm not going to talk shit on him, but I'm not going to say he's great. I'm not going to say he's like out there being one of these top catching hitters, right? Look at the bottom of this order. Bubba Thompson. Right? Who the hell's Bubba Thompson? I watch enough games that I know who he is, but still, like you ask a normal fan, they're not gonna know who Bubba Thompson is, right? You're not gonna figure that out at all, right? Josh Smith was batting 2 for a couple games. I'm gonna tone it down. I'm like, all right, they're not very good. We'll just say that. And now they're going into Kansas City. But this is where I thought I was gonna fade Martin Perez today, right? That was gonna be that was high up on my list, right? That I really wanted to do it. Let's just look at how the Royals have hit lefties this year to start the season. They're worse than the Brewers. That's hard to do. They're the 3rd worst OPS behind the Tigers and Giants. Tigers sitting here at a 583 OPS. That is absolutely dreadful. I don't expect too much power today, right? It's not playing up. It's not warm out there. Middling conditions. But, man, dude, I really, really like fading the Royals now, looking at how bad they've been so far. I think that we're going to see – I think it's going to go low scoring. I don't really see too much happening in this one, but I do really like the Royals overall in the full game if I was going to back a full game spot. But I think both teams struggle early on to get the barrels going, and I'm going to trust talent over what the numbers are showing me right now.
Yeah, I like the spot. I mean, Perez has been good to us over these last couple of years. If we get a team, that can't hit lefties, Perez is the type of guy keep you off balance all game. A lot of soft contact, a lot of ugly outs, and I kind of agree. I think it's a little 3-game sample sizes. This is the time of year where people really overreact to things right here. But at the end of the day, Singer's, a young guy, still 25, 26, something like that. A lot of pedigree there. And they're going to stick with him. They're going to keep giving him chances. And obviously, like you said, now we get a step down. You're not facing the Braves where every single at bat is deadly. You get through that first part of the order, and then you suddenly have some time to breathe, have some time to collect yourself. I do like that this is pretty close to plus money here as well, minus 105. So I'll be tailing this one for sure. Got to get Perez back on the map for Past the Prop. I believe this is his first appearance so far this year.
Yeah, no, he's usually a mainstay here. Just looking at my ballpark pal spots, right? We look here, Kauffman Stadium playing. They're giving it a minus 22% on the home run spots. That's very nice for us backing this because guess what? Brady Singer has been home run prone. That's really where he's been getting killed, right? So far this year, he's given up 5 homers in 16 innings. But if we're going to play down, I'll take that. I'll take it a little bit there. So do really like that spot. Believe that's all we got today. Stu, let's get a quick recap here, and we'll maybe talk our favorite stacks, or we'll talk our long shot.
Sounds good. Start out Goldie, Xander, Bogarts, both to record a hit, minus 115. This one is over on FanDuel. Then we got a same game parlay on DraftKings. Connor Joe, Charlie Blackmon, both to record a hit, minus 115.
Perfect. I'll be going Marco Gonzalez under 2.5 earned runs. And the Royals first 5 under 4.5 at minus 105. Stu, do you want to do long shots? Or do you want to do our favorite stack of the day?
It's up to you. I do have a long shot, but it is in the NBA. I do have an NBA long shot, so I figure we can do stacks first. You know what I mean?
I would. Yeah, I don't know any. I don't look at any NBA. So, what if you had to pick a stack today? Mind you, the slate is to the Brewers game there, so it's only till the 3:10 slate. So what do you got here?
Wait, you're saying the day slate or the night slate?
I'm only saying the day slate.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Are you going to go late?
Yeah, well, I was going to say, I think, I don't have to. Yeah, I was going to, but I can go. Actually, where are the Mets Dodgers 3:10? Is that early?
Yeah, that's on the early slate.
Okay, I want to talk about that one then. I want to get some Mets in there. If I can't bet my stolen base equity on on DraftKings where it's only plus 120, then I like trying to use that equity in other places. Like Fantasy Score, for example, is a big one on Prize Picks, where I think I'm going to be hitting multiple guys' Fantasy Score like Starling Marte. I think it's just a good way to get some exposure to a lot of guys. There's so many popular plays on the slate today. I don't want any piece of Max Scherzer, right? But I mean, you can obviously get a little bit of him in the pitching side if you want to pay up. But I'm more looking at those Mets batters against Syndergaard. If they can just get on base, those stolen bags are automatic. We could see a fairly high scoring game with 2 good offenses on both sides. So I like the Mets in this one.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I do like that spot. That might be a mini stack of mine here in this early slate. I can't get away from the Cardinals. I can't do it. I don't know how I'm going to get off of them because. So again, let me put this in. So when we talk DFS here, guys, right? You got to remember. I'm assuming most of you guys are doing tournaments and we're not doing 50-50s, right? So that's first thing, right? I'm assuming if you're here and you're looking at trying to get these big wins, I know you saw a couple, you guys are thinking tournaments, right? So I'm going to guess, and I got to check ownership. I'll check ownership in probably about an hour or so, that Colorado game is going to hone at least 45 to 50% of the aggregate hitting ownership today. And I don't think I'm far off. I think that it might even be higher, right, with Austin Comber on the board. I'll take the skill differential on the Cardinals all day, right? Even the Mets, right? We're not going to that really popular game, and those guys are now getting expensive, right, when they're getting there. So I want to be different. If you're going to take these down, you got to be different, right? You got to have something different. A lot of guys there's really not any chalk pitching today. At least I haven't really seen it when I've been doing these look aheads here. But man, dude, how do I get that? How do I get away from the Cardinals in this matchup with Bumgarner, who can't get anybody out right now? So one thing I will say is Diamondbacks 11-7. You like that? Cardinals 7-11. My Brewers future looking tasty winning that NL Central. Dude, they were like plus 180, bro. That's freaking disrespect. But yeah, I mean, I think I can't get away from that. If they give me the full normal lineup with Contreras, O'Neill, Arenado, Goldschmidt, and you know those spots are gonna be filled with CJ Cron, Ryan McMahon, right? Jung Bay from the Pirates, McCutchen. Like that's who's gonna be in those spots at 42%. I'll be different, man. I'll be different if I know those guys are 10,000 times better and I'm not just relying on a ballpark to do it for me.
And you always have the advantage of, like you said, with that Cardinals record, they actually can't pitch yet. So they're forced to hit in all these games. It's not like they're cruising to 1-0 victories behind their aces. The reason, because of that record, is this pitching staff. The offense is doing their job. You know this from playing DFS every day. So I like this spot right here. Keep on getting these, pretty elite tier bats at relatively low ownership. I'll definitely take a Cardinal over, Andrew McCutchen, Brian Reynolds, one of those guys today.
Yeah, actually, really, the Royals lineup just came out. I really kind of like fading this lineup, dude. Bottom of the order, Matt Duffy, Hunter Dozier, Jackie Bradley. What the fuck are you putting in this? Oh, my God, dude. MJ Melendez, I think, has more strikeouts than anybody I've seen in the MLB this year so far.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. This is an interesting lineup. And they don't even have pesky Nicky Lopez in there, Massey, those pesky guys.
Yep.
They're giving me guys that okay on 3 swings. I like that. All right. And then I'll let you do your long shot. I don't have one today.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm going over to the NBA for mine. I got to see if there's a better price. I went Michael Porter Jr. to knock down 5 threes. It's plus 480 on DraftKings. He knocked down 4 threes in game 1. And I do just to be honest, too, for MLB, I need more lineups if I want to do these long shots. So I do like going over to NBA slate today. Michael Porter Jr., I guess the biggest thing with him is he got 4 threes last game. He almost hit this number. And I didn't even really like his outlook, to be honest. I don't think Jokic was taking enough advantage of the single coverage that they had down low. I think they're going to do a lot more of that. And when Jokic starts actually making shots in the first half and becoming a really intimidating presence, then you're going to see MPJ wide open on the outside. They're going to have to bring that help in there. They don't want to help, but they're going to have to at a certain extent. And I think that opens up even more clean shots. MPG's taking wide open threes, and he's taking highly contested threes. The guy doesn't care. Once the ball gets in his hand, he's thinking the quickest way he can shoot it. He's taking transition threes, everything like that. The volume is not a concern. Took 9 in game 1. I expect 9 to 11. I just think the quality of looks is actually going to be a little bit better in this one, with Jokic hopefully attacking the paint a little bit more early and drawing some help defense away to open up MPJ.
Yeah, no, I like this spot. Definitely kind of think about it as like Torrey Craig last night, right? You got a double on Durant, right? Yep. You're not going to let the best guy beat you, right? And this, I'm not saying MPJ's in that category of how bad Torrey Craig is, but they're doing the same thing, right? They're the peripheral player, right? You're not going out trying to game plan against Michael Porter Jr. You're game planning Jokic. You're game planning Murray, right?
Yep.
Now you have to have one of these peripheral guys step up. Definitely think that there's a spot. He's getting double-digit shot attempts on these, so you ain't got to worry about volume.
Yeah, I mean, this was at times during the regular season like plus 300. You know what I mean? The volume is there. We all know it's there. It's just about actually connecting those shots. I think today is actually a pretty good spot to make it. I think Trevor brings up a good point. If he doesn't make the 5, Murray will. I agree. Someone in there is going to be set up with some wide open shots. It's just who can actually knock them down. Maybe it's my guy KCP as well. Who knows? But I'm hoping it's MPJ. He's going to have the first chance too, which is what we like here.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, I think that's all we got. That's all we got. I don't have a long shot today, and obviously the lineups aren't even released on a lot of these yet. So usually I do the long shots. Usually we have a couple. It's usually like noon when we get all of the long shot stuff in. So make sure you're on the lookout. I'll be reposting this, maybe having an extra one there, whether it be on Twitter or Picket or YouTube, whatever it is. Make sure you guys are following both of us on all of our other stuff. Stu, what do you got for the people?
Yeah, man, great show today. Obviously, make sure to leave a like, comment, question, any of that stuff. If you do, have any comments or questions, anything like that, the likes are obviously appreciated. We'll have plenty more content. I know I will have 2 articles out with Odds Checker, as I will every single day for the rest of the playoffs, just locking down my favorite bets. I am also doing a Dimers one-on-one show with Jerry over there, and we kind of battle it out every day on our favorite NBA props. So tons of good-looking stuff on the way, tons of articles, tons of write-ups. Make sure to follow on Twitter, follow here, Pickett, all that stuff to keep up with all the plays.
I love it. I love it. Thank you guys for tuning in at this new time. Like I said, make sure you're following us, and we'll make sure to give you a little bit of a heads up before we go live here, just because I know today's slate is early. You got a couple hours, got about 3 hours before the first pitch of the first game. But thank you guys for all making the adjustment with us. We appreciate you guys, and we will see you on Friday. Have a good one, guys.